After a week cruising St. Thomas and a one-night stopover in St. John, we left to sail the 5 or so miles to Jost Van Dyke in the British Virgin Islands, with plans to return to the U.S. Virgin Islands and cruise it more extensively later. It's a nice dead downwind sail and, 17 to 21 knot winds. Very, very comfortable. And in less than an hour, we'll be making our approach to Great Harbour at Jost Van Dyke, dead ahead. And I think we're going to stay there for probably through New Year's, the day after Christmas today. So, got to get checked in to the British Virgin Islands. Yay! Before long, we were making our approach to this small mountainous island of around 3 square miles and a population of only a few hundred people. Lindy readied the mooring lines, not knowing the wild ride she was about to go on. Check this out. Wow. Okay, we finally got attached to the mooring ball, our chafe guards on and everything, and now we've put our quarantine flag up because it's time to go check in. We think we're going to stay here through New Year's Day, at least. We had that good downwind sail on the way over here, which is why there's a lot of waves in the bay, but this evening the wind switches and comes from over the land, so this should be calm and a nice place for the whole week, but we'll be glad when that wind switches because it's pretty wild here right now. Oh, we got checked in. Now we're checking out the island.
Oh, I thought we were having lunch here.
Looks like an awesome place. The town of Great Harbour, which is the largest on Jost Van Dyke, is only one short strip of road with a few buildings and restaurants. We've come down the street here to a little food truck. Lindy's got some whole fish. I've got a fish sandwich. Here with Mike and Jen from Sanitas. Mike's got some chicken wings.
You go with some Elvin's hot sauce.
And I think Jen's got a boiled fish coming out. So. Right.
Oh, it was the last night.
That's right. It looks wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Woohoo.
Oh yeah.
Man.
All right. Today we've packed up the dinghy for a beach trip. And we're gonna head around the point of the island there to the next bay called White Bay, where there's a famous bar called the Soggy Dollar. We're gonna go over there, hang out on the beach, and our friends Mike and Jen from Sanitas are going. And also, just moments ago, our friends TC and Z on Annabella pulled into the mooring ball next to them. So they're probably gonna come join us, and it's gonna be a awesome day. I just know it. It's a couple-mile dinghy ride around the point to White Bay and the famed Soggy Dollar. Thusly called because patrons have to swim from their boat to the beach and pay with the now soggy dollars in their pocket. Wow. Holy moly. I thought there was only like a room for a few boats in this thing. That's like 30 boats. Awesome. At Gertrude's, you make your own.
Oh, a little Gosling.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome. There's zero chance that you're going.
All night if this goes.
There's zero chance this is going on there. All right, we've had a fun time at the Soggy Dollar today, so it's time to do another iconic Jost Van Dyke thing, and we're going to Foxy's tonight for the barbecue. So.
Barbecue buffet.
We got our food. What's everybody think?
It's amazing. Yummy.
Can't talk with a mouthful.
Right?
So a giant boat has pulled up that has a helicopter on it. And the helicopter's about to take off. Not something you see every day. That's like a 350-foot boat. It's called Andromeda, We read it's a Russian billionaire that lives in Silicon Valley, one of the early investors in Facebook and Twitter and stuff. Nobody I'd ever heard of. So it's 2 days before New Year's Eve. Boats are still coming and going from the mooring field pretty regularly, but we've heard starting like today or maybe tomorrow that people stop leaving and the place fills up with boats because there's apparently a huge party up at Foxy's. And fill up it did. Over the course of those next 2 days, all of the 30 or so mooring balls were taken. And once those were taken, boats anchored further and further out in the deeper water into the sound, until the water became too deep and rough for most boats to anchor. And after that, boats continued to pour in, anchoring in between the other boats where there didn't seem to be enough room, and even anchoring in amongst the mooring balls. There were hundreds of boats all around us, and this little island of a few hundred population would balloon to thousands, all there to attend the famous New Year's Eve party at Foxy's. It's New Year's Eve and we've just been loving Great Harbour on Jost Van Dyke, and Lindy is up to something here in the kitchen.
I'm making a guava barbecue sauce to go with some little smokies. We are going to go over to Sanitas for some little snacks before we head to Foxy's for the super New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun evening, we're sure. Sanitas is moored next to us, then head over to Foxy's. You can already see there's people showing up there. It's apparently gonna be crazy, like with like 1 million people. Got all kinds of boats around us. Lots of people. Maybe, just maybe, we'll even make it up till midnight, but don't count on it. I rarely do. You ready?
Hi! Yes.
Let's go over to Sanitas. It was a pretty sunset tonight.
It's still a pretty sunset.
It's still... You ready for this New Year's Eve?
Happy New Year!
Look at this spread. Oh my gosh. It looks so good. Jen, what are you doing over there?
I am tearing out the seams on Mike's new pineapple shirt.
Oh, wow.
Got a gun problem over here.
It was an extra small. This is a good start to any New Year's party. You know, sleeve ripping and sewing.
This is a pretty
You're
legit.
putting a lot of effort into it.
Wow, I can't believe we made it till midnight. But after a week in Great Harbour, we were ready to check out some other spots on Jost Van Dyke. We headed east along the coast to the far end of the island where we had heard about an awesome anchorage. All right, we got anchored. Very nice. Diamond Point. We've got a really good view of Tortola over there in the background. Seems like a neat spot though, as they all seem to be. Booby flying by. One little bar restaurant here. I think that same Foxy owns that too. He owns all kinds of cool places. And it's kind of neat because there's the Atlantic Ocean right there through that cut. So cool. Yeah, we don't know, we'll stay here a couple of days or a day, move on. There's gonna be a little trail over here from this little restaurant, and we're walking to something over there called the Bubbly Pool. So I don't know, I think water's supposed to come crashing in there like on Rachel's bubble bath or something like that, like back in the Bahamas. So we'll see. That's awesome. Jost Van Dyke was a special place, but it was time to move on, so we headed the 5 miles across the Sound to Tortola, the capital of the British Virgin Islands. Tortola is a much larger island at 21 square miles with the highest peak of 1,740 feet and a population of around 25,000 people. Our first stop would be Cane Garden Bay, which we heard had a really nice beach. It's our first time to Tortola here on holiday, and we've made our arrival in Cane Garden Bay. There's the famous Pusser's Bar, and we think Callowwood's Rum Distillery's right over here somewhere, something like that. Yeah, here we are. Lindy's about to climb in. We're gonna go see what Cane Garden Bay is all about. Looks like a festive spot. All right, Tortola, here we come. These glass bottles are actual bottles of rum distilling that end up going for sale. That's crazy. And then back up there, we've got the barreled ones that become the darker rums. But this is it, just this little building here. For 400 years they've been making rum here.
Life is good.
Life is definitely good. Our first week in the BVIs was unbelievable, and we couldn't wait to see what else these beautiful islands had in store for us. Stay tuned for our next adventure, where we have a wonderful sail around the west end of Tortola and head across the Sir Francis Drake Channel to Norman Island. I just got the film started right when he didn't say anything else. Or maybe, what's Little Harbor?
Little Harbor.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Edit.